If you've ever walked into a plant store or you're scrolling on Instagram, you see a picture of a beautiful plant and you think, wow, that plant looks insanely expensive, but I need it, then this video is going to save you a lot of money. Because there are a bunch of houseplants that look like they should cost hundreds of dollars, but in reality, they are cheap, they're easy to find, and they're honestly way easier to grow than most of these trendy plants that people are just, really wasting their money on. I have bought and grown and sold hundreds of houseplants over the years, and these are some of the biggest value plants out there, the best value plants that look rare, designer, high end, variegated, crazy colors. They all look like they'd be quite expensive, but they are not. They will not destroy your budget, and they are very affordable. And make sure you stick around until the end of the video because the last plant on the list is one of the best examples of this. It looks like something you'd see in a luxury, a luxury interior design magazine or something, but you rarely actually see anyone growing it. So let's check it out. We are starting off strong with a really special plant, the Shivereana rubber tree. The Shivereana rubber tree is one of those plants that people assume is rare and expensive the moment they see it, but it is not. The leaves are thick, glossy, heavily variegated, and splashed with white, lime, dark green, light green, sometimes even pink, red tones, and it really looks like a high-end collector plant. But here's the thing, it's just a rubber tree, which means that it is tough, forgiving, ridiculously easy to grow indoors. It does well in bright light, but it will tolerate medium light, and if you miss a watering, then it's no problem. It's not super picky with the watering. But unlike many of the unstable variegated plants, this one holds its pattern very well over the years. And, when you can get a tree that has variegated leaves as beautiful as the most expensive variegated philodendron, that's pretty special. That's something that you need to have. And, years ago, I do think they used to be more rare and more expensive, but that is no longer the case. So you can get, one in like a 3-gallon pot that's already fairly big for pretty cheap. And they're totally worth, the 30-40 bucks you're going to spend on it, because you're going to have this thing for decades if you, if you have a nice spot for it. I've got one over here, and I actually have 2 of them. So these are one of my personal favorite plants, and they are one of the best examples of a plant that looks expensive. It photographs beautifully. You could imagine this again in like a magazine, or I'm sure you see, I don't have Instagram, but I'm sure you see these on Instagram a lot, and they really stand out. But more importantly, they are not expensive and they look good long term. So that is the Shivereana rubber tree. Let's check out another one. Next up is another plant that definitely looks more expensive than it really is. The silver syndapsis, also known as the silver satin pothos. This plant has thick, velvety leaves covered in these silvery markings that catch the light in a way that photos never quite do justice, and really looks like no other plant, no other houseplant that I know of. It looks fancy, it looks curated, it looks like something that belongs in a fancy hotel or some rich person's house. But in reality, it's basically a tougher, slightly slower growing pothos. But with those thick leaves, it's tougher than the normal pothos. You can let it trail, you can let it climb up a pole, you can put it in fairly low light. If it's in brighter light, then the silver color will maybe be a little bit more pronounced, but they can survive just like pothos in quite low light. And the best part is that it will always look good. Even if the silver shine, fades slightly, it's still incredibly beautiful. So even if you, don't have a ton of time to take care of your plants and it may be slightly neglected, that's okay. It's still going to look really incredible. It's going to look like it's some, expensive, fancy, trendy plant, whatever. but it is not. And it's got those thick velvety leaves. It's gonna stay strong. It's gonna keep its color, and it's gonna look good for many years to come. And there are also many different varieties. There's ones with small leaves, with bigger leaves, with more variegation, less variegation. So if you want that expensive plant shelf kind of look without the stress and without the cost, then the silver syndapsis, the silver satin pothos, is one of the easiest ways to get that. So that is the silver satin. Let's check out another one. Now, this one that might surprise some people, I'm talking about the painted lady philodendron. So the painted lady philodendron, it's been around forever, but lately it's been having a moment, and for good reason. And I think part of that reason is that it's another one of these plants that used to be very expensive, but is no longer. It's very affordable now. So the contrast between the bright yellow green leaves and the pinkish, very red stems is just wild. When it's grown well, it looks bold, colorful, intentional, and it really stands out. It's one of those plants that looks like it should be rare, it looks like it should be expensive, but it's not. It is easy to grow, it climbs beautifully, and as it matures, the leaves get bigger and more dramatic. And when you have it on a pole or climbing up, even just up the wall, or whatever, if you can get it growing vertically, the way that you know the red stems kind of just grow in this like spiral, and then the leaves contrasted with the red stems on the inside, it really is a very unique look, and it looks very fancy. It really looks like, oh man, you know it looks like one of those plants you'll see in the house of, well, someone maybe like me who has a million plants and has totally gotten completely out of control with the amount of plants they have and is obsessed with plants. You know, it's only in those houses that you see maybe the more rare, expensive plants. But this one, it has that look, but it is neither rare nor expensive. So I'm rambling on a bit here, but I think you guys get the idea that I'm saying. And so if you want color, if you want variegation, but variegation that is stable, then this is one of the best choices out there. Now we're talking about the variegated Shivereana, or the variegated umbrella tree, which is, in my opinion, massively underrated. It's a plant that people kind of associate with office buildings, or if you live in the South, if you live in Florida or something, they use these often as like hedges on the sidewalk. So you may associate it with just kind of a common everyday plant. But when you grow it inside, and when you let it really kind of grow and get its structure and get a nice geometrical look, then, it's a magnificent plant. It's really something that is special. And like I said, in my opinion, because of kind of the average person's perception of this plant, it makes it incredibly underrated. And so when you see a healthy, variegated umbrella tree grown well indoors, it's beautiful. They got that cream, yellow, green patterns, glossy leaves, and the tree-like form that fills the space in a really elegant way. These are tough plants. They handle indoor conditions very well. They don't freak out over missed waterings or too much water, and they can grow into real statement plants over time. I've spoken on this before, but it's got this really like, kind of geometrical look. The way that the leaves grow in these clusters and these circular pattern, just the way the leaves kind of come out of the branch, it looks really cool. And especially like as the new leaves come out and they're just tiny and they're super glossy, and then you see them open up over time and get bigger and develop more variegation. They're one that, as they get big, like I said, they're very much like a statement plant, but they're also one that it's a joy just to watch it grow, just to see each new set of leaves kind of pop out and then slowly expand in this cool pattern. Just the leaves itself is are very cool. But then the variegation is also very beautiful. So We're talking about, this may be the best value plant of anything on the list because they're really cheap. You can get a pretty big one for like $40, and that's already many years old. So when it comes to ease, being able to grow in low light, these can handle very low light, and just how special they are, and they're variegated. This might be the best value plant on the list. It's really something special. So if you want something that makes your space look expensive and look established, this is a great choice. Let's check out one more, guys. All right, we've made it to the end, and I've got to say, I think this one is my favorite on the list, the Burle Marx philodendron. The Burle Marx has these long, elegant, sculptural leaves that look extremely high-end. This is the kind of plant that interior designers love because it looks intentional, architectural, and clean. Not trendy, not flashy, but just good. All right, it grows fast, it's easy, and it fills the space beautifully without being overwhelming. And somehow it is still really affordable. This is one of those plants that once you have it, you start wondering why everyone isn't growing it. Because really, the variegation on these is incredibly beautiful. We have many different types of variegated plants that have grown popular over the past few years, but there's levels to the variegation, or to how beautiful the variegation is and how much it stands out. With these, it's just a very spectacular looking variegation. It really is. It looks like variegation of a plant that should cost hundreds of dollars, but these have become quite cheap. I've seen people selling small ones for like $10 now. And so I think part of the reason why they have become quite cheap, as we've seen the prices of many different variegated houseplants kind of rise and fall and rise and fall over the past 5 to 10 years. This is one that's kind of come out as being not as popular and quite cheap. I think there's a misconception that it's hard to keep it variegated and then it's unstable. I have found with mine that it will put out unvariegated leaves every once in a while. I think that the common idea is that when you have a variegated plant and it puts out a non-variegated leaf, that you want to immediately cut that off. Keep it fully variegated. Don't let the non-variegated leaves ever be seen, But I think personally, and this is what people have suggested to me, smart people who know a lot about plants. But personally, I think this is not the way to keep the variegation. If you keep cutting off the non-variegated leaves every time one pops up, more non-variegated are going to pop out, and until the point where it's totally reverted and every new leaf comes out is non-variegated and is just pure green. What I think the best method to do to keep variegation is not with just the Burle Marx, but with many of these variegated plants that will occasionally put out non-variegated leaves, is to only trim them back maybe once or twice a year. If they're in bright light where they're growing quickly, you could do twice a year. If they're not in super bright light and they're growing kind of slower, just do once a year. Okay? And so, say it grows 10 new leaves a year and 6 are variegated and 4 are non-variegated. You got to just let it grow. All right, rather than every time a non-variegated leaf comes out, cut it off. Just let it grow. Let it grow. Maybe even say not amount of time, but an amount of leaves. Every 10 leaves, cut off the non-variegated ones and let the variegated ones stay. Because then it's like it has more leaves to photosynthesize. It has more leaves to absorb light, and it's just going to be a stronger plant. So if you let all the leaves stay on all year, then it's going to be stronger, and it's going to be more likely with each new leaf that comes out to put out a variegated leaf. Okay? So that's my opinion, is let it grow into almost like a little bush, and then once a year, cut off the non-variegated ones. And it will look beautiful. And if occasionally, for 6 months of the year, say, it has 2 or 3 non-variegated leaves, that's okay, because it's going to be more likely to put out a variegated leaf every time it does grow a new leaf. Okay, so that is my opinion, or not just my opinion, but my experience with growing variegated plants, but specifically with growing the Burle Marx philodendron. If you over prune it, it's going to be more likely to revert. If you let it just naturally grow and do its thing and just occasionally cut off the non-variegated leaves, then you are going to find success. It's going to stay variegated for years, and it's going to have absolutely beautiful variegation that is really going to stand out amongst even the more expensive plants you may have. This one's going to stand out, even though it is quite cheap. It's going to be one of the most special plants you have in your collection. So prune it just like I've described. Water it maybe once a week, and that's pretty much it. It's an easy plant, a cheap plant, and an incredibly beautiful plant. So that's why I have the Burle Marx philodendron as my #1 plant on the list for cheap plants that look like they should be expensive. So there you go, 5 houseplants that look expensive but are not. So if you are tired of chasing these hype plants, these very hyped up, trendy plants that are gonna revert, melt, lose leaves, just look bad after 6 months, these are the kind of plants that I would recommend focusing on instead. And let me know in the comments which one is your favorite, or if there's other plants that you think should have been on the list that look really expensive but are not. Please let me know. And if you have not subscribed yet, definitely do that. I've got a lot more videos coming up about plants that are actually worth growing, that are easy, beautiful, and not going to cost you an arm and a leg. All right, guys, so thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you soon.